Well, we'll have a little look at your round from yesterday here with your horse. I mean, you've got a very good string of horses at the moment.
Yeah, I'm really happy about this. This is a 9-year-old stallion, Zinedine, who is just jumping his first Grand Prix season, really. He's been 4th in Chantilly in the Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. This was his second approach in such a Grand Prix here, and he jumped the first round really easy, smooth. He's really, really careful. Sometimes we need to improve a bit the connection, and it's not throughout the whole course always the perfect rhythm. He over jumps at the fences, and then he in a way boxes a little bit 2-3 strides after it, but when you go to the jumps and you know 95% he's going to jump it and not knock it down, it's a really safe feeling.
And you yourself, do you watch these rounds back to analyze?
Yes, because you know sometimes you have a feeling, and then it's a really interesting to see, then to watch your round and follow a little bit what you felt and what it looks like afterwards. And even I think week by week you still can improve things.
Yeah. And you're obviously known for being a perfectionist from that point of view. Have you reached perfection with any of your horses, do you think? In your mind?
Well, you know, you have some rounds where you think you are close to ideal, every now and then. But it varies, and even when you get to the point where you think, okay, now this is perfect, the problem is then to keep this up, you know, and not to, because, you know, you balance with your performance, and of course horses are not every day the same. But yeah, especially with Shaman, I've done a few nice Grand Prix, jump-offs also. And I'm looking forward. I think I'm on a very good way with Zinedine as well. So we're not yet perfect, but we are on a very good way.
We're going to get there. You mentioned Shaman there, of course, for you as well, building up to European Championships.
I think Germany has actually a strong team next week, and my colleagues Daniel Deusser, Christian Ahlmann, and Carsten Otto-Nagel are strong contenders. It's nice to be part of such a strong team, and I'm looking forward to that as well. Yes.
I don't think there's any competition that Germany have not sent a strong team to. It's very, very good. Great to have that depth, actually, from your point of view in the teams that you use, and actually the depth in terms of the riders that you've got in Germany at the moment.
Yes, that's right. I mean, we are a quite big country, just also by quantity. I mean, number of horses, breeding, number of riders. That speaks for itself, of course, and with such a big number of riders, horses, industry, it's quite normal that we have year by year quite a strong team. I mean, it's also not easy to make the team every year, because, you know, we have always 8, 9, 10 guys more or less head to head. So it's on one hand really comfortable once you are in, but it's not easy to get there.
We talked about, as you say, getting in there in the first place. You've been responsible for producing riders and horses that have gone on to those teams over the years. How much satisfaction does it give you to see riders that you've trained going on, and we can see the Ludger style when we see them ride?
I don't know the Ludger style, but it's a great thing to watch and to experience and to be part of. I mean, I really enjoy doing this, and it's not so much you get to the point after doing this for so many years that you think, okay, but there should be something more, you know, and work with young people also keeps me motivating and keeps me going on and trying to improve and getting better, still looking for perfection. Yeah, and I think it's giving and taking, and when I see the boys focused, ambition, it also motivates me very much.
I was about to say, talking about focus yourself, I mean, gold medals, you've won those, you've won gold medals at Olympics, Europeans. What else is there that you would really like to achieve?
Well, there's still something left. I mean, I've been world champion in the team 2 times. I've made it to the final once. I finished 4th, 2 times 5th, so next year we're going to the Normandy. It would be nice to probably get to the podium, but I know it will not be easy, especially with this horse change, and on the last day it's a bit of gambling too. then there's one more Olympic Games, which I really missed going to London last year, which I would like to go, and then hopefully can end up after 2016 with being one of the most successful. That is something which pushes me forward.
Absolutely, one of the most successful now. I don't think there's any worry about that from that point of view. But you mentioned London there. You were there, obviously, supporting and being involved as well. How hard was that? It was obviously very hard being on the floor from that point of view, but also still getting in there and being part of the squad.
Yeah, that was the positive thing, to experience it, and also probably to experience one time the Olympics after being to 6 before, from another side, really being supportive, going to watch a lot of other disciplines. I've been to the athletic stadium. I really enjoyed the opening ceremony, which I never had time before. So it was a nice experience, and in a way also a bit of therapy from getting away that I didn't make it, which was honestly quite depressing.
Do you think about records from that point of view? We've talked about the likes of Ian Miller, who's done 10 Olympic Games now and things like that. Do you ever think about those kind of milestones?
No, not really. Not for sure. I will not do 10. It's not my goal to be, to do the most games or championships. It's just hopefully to be one of the most successful. That's the point. Not so much the numbers.
Winning the medals at the end of them. That's the.
If possible, yes.
Absolutely. And for you yourself, in terms of the future, what do you see for the next 5 years from your point of view?
From me personally.
Yes.
Well, I think the two horses I have, Zinedine and Chiara, they're 9 and 10 years old, and I've, in a way, think that I will go to retire one day, probably with these two horses. So that means another 3, 4, 5 years. And this time, I hope they stay sound. The same for me, of course. And then, try to make the best out of this comfortable situation.
And just very quickly, you've mentioned it and touched on it there. I talked about it with Nick Skelton yesterday. Longevity. The sport has changed so much in your career.
Yeah, definitely it has. I mean, when we started 30 years ago, we would never expect to get where we are today. I mean, in terms of prize money, traveling, also this globalization, I think, have driven us quite to another level. Of course, the global tour had a great impact there as well, and it's a nice and good feeling. There was times where we hardly, or where we could not, even with winning a bit, make the daily income. And today, probably not for all of us, but if you have a good season, you can pay for all. And also, if you see the development of the prices of the horses and the possibilities to win, it motivates owners to join in and to invest in the sport. And the industry, if I just see in our country, Germany, I think the turnover is 200-300 times the turnover we had 15 years ago. So that's really great, and it's actually nice to be part of it.
It's a huge thing to be part of, which is wonderful.